Get this shit going. What's up, everybody? We should be live, hopefully. Let me do a little checksy. Always a little checky. Just make sure. Channels. Good there, in there. Sorry, y'all, give me just a moment. Cool. All right. Here we go. So, Wednesday night, I have Doug Lane on from Fast Lane Car Care LLC out of Zanesville, Ohio. Been waiting to have this guy on for a while. Been on my list for a good minute. And I've seen a bunch of his comments and videos of him sharing things from YouTube that he's done with certain vehicles, stuff like that. What's going on with my camera here? It's all blurry and shit. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, can't wait to have him on here in just a second, everybody. Gonna do the intro video, and then I'll have him right in. Let's get things going. Better late than never. You know what I'm saying? I was a little bit late, but that's on me. But yeah, so let's do the intro, and then we will bring him on, and we will chit chat about a bunch of stuff. Let me turn this music down too. It's a little too loud. There we go. Cool. But yeah, intro. There it is. Bang. Without further ado, here's our guest, Doug Lane.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, dude? How are you?
I'm not too bad. About yourself?
Man, it's been a good day. Not gonna lie. It's been eventful, yet not so stressful, you know?
Oh, light work today?
Man, I just had a Infinity QX80 that I had to take the front two off and then tint the whole thing, 5 on the front, 20 on the back. And turns out like her windshield was tinted and there was like this big cluster of dirt right where I'm about to put the brow. And I was like, hey, you know your windshield's tinted and like there's like a big thing of dirt. And she was like, it's all right, just put the brow on. I'm like, all right, cool. She was like, I know it's not blocking any heat. And I'm like, yeah, the brow's not gonna do that either, but you know, whatever you say, you know.
Yeah, I had to do a strip and retint on a Mustang, and yeah, it took way longer than it should have, but it was. It's also I'm not one that rushes. Like anybody that knows me, like I don't get in a hurry because that's usually when you make mistakes. So
Yes.
I used to get like really down when I first started seeing dudes in the comments talking about like, oh, I do a whole car in an hour and it's flawless, 100%, and it's like
It's not true.
it's taking me like 2 or 3 hours, right, hand
Right.
cut and everything, and then I'm just like, I don't really care. Like my family's fed. I've got nothing but 5-star reviews. In the end, it really doesn't matter how long it takes you. I mean, yeah, it's nice to be able to say, "Oh, yeah, I did that car super fast," because dollars per hour and profit and everything. But at the end
It's
of the
very
day,
true.
it
Yeah.
really doesn't matter.
Okay, so I've heard this and I've talked to a lot of people about this a lot. It's literally whatever you want to get out of what you're doing is what is best for you. Instead of
Oh,
like
yeah.
thinking about what everybody else does, right? Like that's going to make you it's what is it? The comparison is the thief of joy, you
Yep.
know, or whatever. Like you can't compare $1 million shop that's got 12 installers, 3 plotters and like, you know, millions in revenue coming in, you know. Like as
Well,
long as what you're doing and how you're doing it is sustaining your lifestyle and what you want to get out of it, dude. I mean, that's what matters, honestly.
yeah. Well, and so I always thought about it like from the time that car comes in to the time that car is ready to be delivered. From the time you get the keys to the time you're ready to hand them back is how I count
Right.
my time. And then the more I started reading, the more I started watching, it's like, well, it only took me an hour to install the film. Oh, so you're not counting cutting, prepping, none of that stuff.
No, none of it.
And then it's like, okay, well, and I remember there was a video of this dude just totally hosing down the inside and everything. And And he was like, yeah, we did this car so fast. And people were in the comments like, bro, you're just going to leave the panels wet and everything. And he's like, well, I work at a dealership and it goes to detail right after me. So you can't, you know what I mean? Like you just
Right. There's always
that
circumstances, right?
situation to
Yeah.
you just hanging out by yourself working, you know what I mean? Like if you
It's
got a
all
whole ass
situational.
team, you can't, it's not the same thing. So like you
Right.
said, I mean, you hit it right on the nail, like nail on the head. As long as it works for you, don't worry about what other people are doing.
Exactly, man. I mean, because okay, we got into a whole story before you even got to introduce yourself. So if you would you a little introduction, name, where you're at, all that good stuff. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, well, I mean, you introduced me just fine. I'm Doug Lane. I own Fast Lane Car Care, Zanesville, Ohio.
Yes.
You know, area code 740 representing. You guys
Okay.
don't know what that is, but
I have no idea, but I'm with it.
yeah. So we're an hour from Columbus. We're an hour from West Virginia. We're pretty much just
Oh, dude.
chilling
So
in
it's
the middle.
like a dead center, like a hub of like a bunch of different people.
No, we're more off to the right. Columbus is basically the center of the state.
Gotcha.
We're more to the right, but like it's kind of a joke, if you will. Here, people are like, "Where are you from?" And like you tell them Zanesville, that nobody knows, right? So it's like,
Right.
well, we're an hour from Columbus, and it's like, oh, okay, but we're also an hour to West Virginia. We're an hour to a few different places that are
Right.
meaningful. Yep. So yeah, just me, just tint. Been tinting since 2000. I did a little bit of tint in like 2016, but I'm not gonna count that as experience. That was
Okay.
just
So did you work somewhere, or did you kind of like just do some DIY stuff? And
no. It was all self-taught, man. So the super condensed version is the shops around here, like they don't know how to use a calendar or a CRM or anything. So like you
right.
call them up and I don't know anything about tent at this point. Tent's tent. So I just call the shop and they don't answer. And I say, hey, this is my name. I got a 2016 Honda Civic, whatever, and never get a call back. So like you're just like I would hate me as a customer now, but you're just
Right.
going down
Right.
the list, man. You're just going down the list trying to find somebody to pick up the phone. And
Of
then you
course.
get somebody to answer and you're like, hey, like, how much is it to tent this car? And they're like, oh, we're real busy. Give us like 2 weeks. Okay. Like, no, like, let me get your info or anything like that. So you just call back in 2 weeks and it's the same deal, dude. Like, these people won't answer. They won't
Yeah.
return your calls or whatever. So then finally, like, one of
That's
the shops
annoying.
that I actually talked to was like, yeah, man, we're really busy. Give us like 2 weeks. And I was like, dude, I called you 2 weeks and you said 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago, dude. Like, I mean,
Right.
we could set up an appointment a month and I mean, like however long it needed to be. Like we have a calendar and well, okay, hang on. I'm like,
Right.
I mean, I didn't want to be an asshole, but I mean, I needed my tent. So I had a Honda Fit. And anybody that's ever had one, they sit super low. So when I had a day job, so I was driving to work, and I worked 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I'm driving, in the early morning hours, and I stop at a stop sign. I can't even see because I'm just getting blinded by the car behind me, and you know, really sucked, pain in the butt. It took me a month and a half to get that car done. Now, in the meantime of waiting, I I I did the cardinal sin. I went to AutoZone
Oh
and I got
no.
the Gila. I got the Gila.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I swear to you, I got the Gila and the Gila, whatever you want to call
I still have never used it. I need to go get some just to play with it.
it. It's
Just to
it's
like
interesting. I did
just to torture test it, you know what I mean? I've got some vehicles sitting out in my field that I could like just like play with, you know what I mean? And tint it and be like,
on the other
yo,
side of that door, and then through the garage door, there's actually a door that we did that with. I got a junk car door.
oh
The
nice.
door wasn't junk, but the rest of the car was. So I took the
Yeah.
doors off, and I did side by side. I've got Gila's 5% Gila, and then I've got my carbon 5%. I think we use carbon. I did a whole YouTube thing on it, and then like
Yeah,
had to wait. You know what I mean? So at this point, it's been exactly a year, so I kind of forget exactly what it was. But
right.
I've got it hooked up so where you can stick a jump pack on it and you can run the windows.
Yeah.
And I need to do that. And the whole point was to see how quickly it faded. But yeah, anyway, so I get the Gila, I get the little basics install kit that they sell, and I did all the side windows on that fit. Now I'm gonna say they looked pretty good, but if I
Right.
could see it now, it probably looked like shit.
Of course,
But I
dude.
couldn't.
'Cause your opinion changes so much when you do
Well,
better work.
well, look, it was in this garage, right? But we've got like 60,000 lumens of
Right.
light in here now. And back then I had 4 like 60-watt light bulbs. So I couldn't see anything. You know what I mean? So it probably did look really
Yeah.
good with the lights off. But I couldn't shrink the back window. And I'm a little bit particular about things. So I was like, man, I'll just have them do the back window. And then I was like, dude, but if one's just a little bit off or like the color tone's off or
They're gonna,
whatever,
yeah, it's
if
gonna
one
fuck
starts
with you,
fading
dude.
and the other doesn't, like I'm
Right.
gonna hit myself. So I
Oh,
just
yeah,
ripped it
you're
all,
gonna
I
get
ripped it
mad.
all back off and
Oh, man.
waited and got it done. And so then I was just like, okay, so I wasted my time and I wasted
Right.
my money messing
Yeah.
around with like 2 or 3 trips to the AutoZone to get more of this stuff because I've, ruined it. In the end, I just trashed it all anyway and still
Yeah.
had to pay the shop. So I didn't save a single cent, dude.
You lost so much money there.
Yeah, I did. So anyway, so I had that car for a couple years, and at the time I had a detailing business, and I wanted to get a different car, something that I could do mobile because nobody does mobile anything around here. And
Right.
so that was when I was, doing my business strategy or whatever, like what can I offer the
Right.
marketplace that's different? It was mobile. And so started doing mobile detailing and needed a bigger vehicle. So I got my 4Runner and man, same deal. Try to call this place, that place, and they wouldn't do it or wouldn't answer the phone, whatever. So somehow my buddy got a appointment to get his truck done and he needed to, ride to his house or whatever. And so I walk in this shop, his really well-known shop, and I was like, "Hey, man, he's checking in my buddies and got his keys, and he's standing in front of his little appointment book and stuff." And I was like, "Hey, how much would it be to do the front two and a strip on a 2018 4Runner? It's brand new." And he said 150. Just shut his book and walked away from me, dude, and it pissed me off.
Oh, dude, that's
So, like, I mean, I am like trying to give you the money, and like you're
right.
not even not like I don't know, man. Maybe he just stuck a
But
window and he was trying to hurry over there to get back before it dried or something. I don't know. He didn't seem like he was in any sort of hurry. So
that seems
anyway,
like the old mentality of like not giving a good customer experience, like just being a salesperson. Like, you
yeah,
know what I mean? Like even good salespeople, like not even good, like decent salespeople would be like 150. Do you want to do it anytime soon? Or,
yeah.
like they would
How
at
soon
least
are
have
you
a
looking to get it
follow-up
done?
question. They would have like at least one follow-up, right? And be like, hey,
Right.
do you want to do it now or you want to do it, I've got tomorrow, whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
150.
And so just walking away from me like that just
Fuck no.
irritated me, dude. So I went home and I ordered a 100-foot roll of Lexan, and I got the Chinese knockoff Blue Max kit with
Nice.
the Bondo card and stuff, dude. And I just
Hell
started
yeah.
watching a bunch of YouTube and throwing film away.
Who'd you watch?
So I watched a lot of Matt stuff. I watched some of Sean Window Tint Warriors. Watched a little bit of Flex Film, Ralph Van Pelt's videos, and I'll tell you what, for probably a year and a half,
You said this was like in 17-ish?
this would have been 18. When I
18.
really got
Yeah.
into it would have been because I didn't order my 4Runner, but I got
Right.
brand new.
Gotcha.
I picked it up like February, and so this was like the end of February, maybe early March, when this dude just shut the book on me and walked away.
Yeah.
So, like I said, so I had my car, I had my 4Runner, we had a Jeep Liberty, and my wife had a Honda Civic at the time. She wasn't my wife then, but we had a Honda Civic, and so I wanted to get those 3 cars done. So I was like, well, I got cars to practice on, and
Yep.
and it was the awesome Civic with the 4-quarter windows that are gasket set.
Oh yeah, funsies.
Yeah,
Those are fun.
yeah. I got some good
Especially
ones.
like with no knowledge of how to do it. You're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's
So
why.
you never worked in a shop.
Nope.
You're 100% self-taught.
YouTube and yeah,
That's fucking dude,
dude,
that's
from
that's
18
amazing.
to 19,
I
I'm not even
love
kidding
that shit,
you.
dude.
I was eating, sleeping, and I was falling asleep watching YouTube, dude. I would turn on the videos at night and literally fall asleep. I'd wake up and I had like 37
Right.
videos I didn't even watch. Yeah, I was at work. I would be at my day job, and we kind of made our own day. We're in shipping, so like you're only supposed to get 45 minutes of break, but a lot of times we get like 2+ hours. I'd be
Yeah,
on my
dude.
phone watching videos, and
Taking
when I
naps
was
in the
yeah
corner and shit.
when I was detailing, dude, I was scheduling appointments and stuff like that. Like we're in shipping, so we were
Hell
moving
yeah.
trailers, and we'd have a guy out like going to go get a trailer with the yard truck, and you're just standing there waiting on him to come back so you can open the doors. And
Right,
I'd be on the phone, like texting customers and like posting,
right.
content on Facebook and all that stuff. Yeah, I was basically running my business from
I
work.
mean, it happens, dude.
That's the best way to do it if you can.
I
Because
did
then,
that
like,
for a little bit with my side work when I was working for the last place I was at, Tinton. Like if I was
yeah,
bored, I'd just be like, shit, I'm gonna follow up on my leads.
yeah.
And I'd be
Well, I
like, hey
mean,
man, I gotta go. I gotta go do something, like I got something I gotta do. Like,
that's actually, so we did a point system, and I was
right,
half a point away from getting fired, and I finally just quit. Because it was only half a point if you came in and worked like at all. If you showed up and you left, it was only half a point. If you called off, it was a whole point. Well, I was working 6 to 2, so I would work from 6 to 8, 6 to 9, and then I would leave and go do my own
right.
thing. And then it's
Like
like you
shit,
only
I'm
get
out of
half
here,
a
dude.
point. Yeah. And
Right,
once I was making more money in my spare time than I was like at my
right.
40 hours, and I was like, okay, it's time to leave. I mean, it's
Right.
actually a way longer story than that, but this is a good
Dude,
enough that we can.
dude. If you want to go deeper
We
into it,
don't,
you're more than welcome,
we
dude.
don't do because it's 8:19 here. It'll be 9:19 before I even get to the point that I just got to. So
Okay,
this
all
thing
right,
is
cool,
totally
cool,
good.
cool.
But hey,
All right.
but were you self-taught, or did you
Okay,
have training?
so I worked as a prep guy at a shop whenever I needed a job, and I saw a window cleaner job on Craigslist, like of all places, right back in the day, dude.
What
Legit,
year
like
is
when it
this? What year
wasn't.
is this?
This was like I want to say 14, like
Uh,
2014, or no,
okay, yeah.
13 is
Craigslist
when like
wasn't creepy yet.
it wasn't weird yet. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it wasn't infested with weird stuff yet.
Yeah,
I saw a window cleaner job and I was like, oh shit, like that's dope. Like, whatever. Like, let me see what this is about. It was a tinning business. And I was like, all right. Went in for the interview, dude, being a felon. And I was like on 3 years probation. And I was like, hey, just being upfront, I'm a felon. I've got 3 years of felony probation, like, but I'll be the best worker you've ever seen. You know what I'm
they're like, you
saying?
don't give a
They're
shit.
like,
Can you clean a
because
window?
my wife now, which was my girlfriend then, was pregnant with our daughter, and I was like, I need a job, like I need to work.
Right.
So it's like, that kind of scenario or whatever. And then so I worked as a prep guy for 3 years watching him tint. And I was like, I didn't know shit about it, right? But every time I'd watch, I'm like, yo, that's kind of cool. Like that's kind of satisfying or whatever. And so then when I started tending it like at the shop, he got a plotter and like taught me to install patterns instead of like learning to hand cut or whatever. So that's how I learned, was being a plotter baby. And then it went down for like, dude, a week, right? And I was like, oh shit, now I get to learn to hand cut, because like he wasn't there because he was doing security film or whatever. And so I hand cut for like a week straight, and I was like, sweet, now I know how to do this. So that's kind of how I learned initially how to tent, and then honed it in working for another company. And now all I do is hand cut. So it's literally just hand cutting and, the craft. You know what I mean? Um, for now, until I can get a plotter, which is not in the works, but eventually. So yeah,
Not in the
that's how
world.
that's how I learned. I don't have it at all on my like list of shit I need to do, because it's a very high expense right now, because I still have to like provide for the house and the
I totally
bills.
understand that.
You know what I mean? Like first
All
year, I started in November, so it's like I started out in the shit, and now I'm starting to make more money, and now summer's about to hit. So once that does, dude, might get one in a month. You never know, right? It's not in the works yet until it's like in my brain. I can be like justifying it, right? Because I can hand cut like a motherfucker. It just takes a while. you know. And I
Yeah.
love being lazy. Don't get me wrong. I'll plot shit all day, but it's just not in the expenses yet. You know what I mean? Like the cost doesn't justify the means, in a sense.
Now, see, it's kind of funny because you learned on the plotter and then went to hand cut. I learned
Yep.
hand cutting and then switched to a plotter last
Yep.
year. About yeah, it's not even quite a year I've had mine yet, and I'm like, damn, I wish I would have done this sooner. I would
I
have
know.
died with you on hand cut hill, dude. I would have been like, red
Oh,
dot for life, bro.
dude, haircuts. I
I'll
love
be
it
the
though.
first to tell you, I talk mad shit about
I
plotter.
don't even have one. I don't even have one on me. Hold on, I got this though.
Can you cut tint with it?
Dude, I got this from Dustin Gonzalez. I have not tried yet, but I keep saying I need to cut a top edge with this. He made it out of a horseshoe,
Dustin,
dude.
it made out of a what?
A horseshoe. Look
Oh
at
yeah.
it, dude.
If Dustin made it, it'll definitely cut tint, man.
Yo, it's pretty sharp, dude. Listen.
I'm partially deaf and I can hear that. So
You too?
yeah,
I'm also partially deaf. I broke
yeah,
both my eardrums.
so I it's only in my left ear. I've got significant hearing loss, and conveniently or inconveniently, it's only really on the frequency that people speak on.
Really?
So like because like you gotta at my old job I had to do a hearing test, which I failed every year. So then I had to go to the hospital to take like the real hearing test,
Right.
and they break it all down and everything below humans, I only have like 10% loss. Everything above human voices, only like 10% loss. But human
So
voice,
you
like
can
that
hear
frequency,
so
oh,
like
fuck.
dude, so like dogs when they bark, you're like, God damn.
So the worst thing
I have
is,
to, or like birds. Birds, are they super loud?
no. What really gets me is
Okay.
like ambient background noise. So like I didn't know
Yeah.
this, but when you have hearing loss, especially in one ear, your brain can't cancel out sounds anymore. So like if we go to a restaurant and eat, like don't even have a conversation with me, dude, because I can't hear you. Like I gotta like try to read lips and stuff like that. Like
Like
it's
you
just
hear the fucking TV in the background and the sizzling of the steaks and shit. Like everything's always
it's not like a hyper focus thing. It's just like there's so much just
yeah. That's what
yeah,
I'm saying. Like you can't hear anything right here.
right.
Okay, so do you hear like echoes when noises happen sometimes? Because I have this. Like when like say like somebody snaps, do you hear like an echo or do you just hear the snap?
No, I just hear the snap.
Dude, mine has like an echo effect. Like if it's really quiet somewhere and I hear like a noise, like a can popping or like you step on a bottle, you know what I mean? Like it like echoes, like it vibrates. It's weird. I hate it. Maybe I just need to clean my fucking ears. I don't know.
That's the crazy thing about it, right? Like it's kind of like tinning in a way. You can it's we can both have a similar problem, but it affects us
Right.
differently. Just like tinning,
Of
like
course.
there's more than one way to do it. You know, it
Of
doesn't matter
course.
bottom load, two step, mix it up. Hell, I've seen people reverse roll side windows now. So I mean,
That shit is crazy.
whatever, dude. Yeah, but
Whatever works, right?
hey, as long as the customer's happy, whatever. I mean, I think that's one of the worst things about like the Facebook groups is just I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, and I don't care if
Dude,
you
let's
agree with
go.
me
Come
or if
on.
anybody else
Get
agrees with
on it,
me.
dude. This is the dark truth, bro. You say what you want to say, bro.
I think that anonymous posting needs to be banned. I said it.
1,000% agree, bro. 1,000% agree. There's no reason you should be afraid to own up to what you're saying. There's no reason, dude.
Well, the thing
Unless you're
is,
just being a dick, like, and then you just out the people. You know what I mean? Like, just out them. Fuck it.
I think that like newer people getting into the industry get
Need
roughed
their
up
own.
a lot. They
They
get
need
roughed
their
up
own
a lot.
page, bro. They need their
Yes,
own group,
for
dude.
sure. But you get like a lot of the vets, you know what I mean, that just think they're better than everybody and they're just dragging people. But I'm going to say this too, in their defense, these people need to learn how to use the search function because it's the same shit every day, multiple times a day. And if they just go up to the top and click
It's
that
right,
little
like
magnifying
there.
glass and type in whatever their heart desires,
Dude.
whatever problem they're having, there's probably 157 posts about it in the last 3 days that's already covered it. And so, like, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, man, like,
just
The
use common
Tinners feel like,
sense. That's my
yeah,
thing. Like, where's your common? There's not much common sense when
no.
it comes to that. I know which group you're talking about. So it's like there's not a lot of common sense, but then there's also motherfuckers, kind of like me sometimes that just like bullshit and stir the pot and be assholes.
Oh, there's
Just because
definitely Tinners that I
some of
know
it,
for sure
some of it's
that post
funny,
about it
but
just to
some of it's just like funsies, and like a lot of people
yeah.
know about the shit. But like you're talking about like people that are harmful and like not harmful, but like being assholes, dude. Like
Yeah.
just like just
I mean,
bashing and
right,
fucking
exactly.
like dude, like just fucking bad juju. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Roger said JC Tents for
Yeah.
president.
Hey, I wanna jump in. I see Vinny. Vinny said that I'm the man, love his energy. I love you, Vinny.
Hold on.
And thanks.
Boom.
He
Let's
said
put
I'm
that up
looking
there.
good.
I keep forgetting to do this because I can do this now. My bad.
I got my hair cut after the Palooza. I wanted to go before the Palooza, so I could look good, but
Shit,
uh,
I feel you.
I had to,
we got this,
I had,
bro. We have the same hairline, bro.
yeah, I had to work some long hours so I could go to the Palooza. So I didn't have time to get a haircut. It just wasn't in the cards.
But I do that. I do it at home, bro. I just get the thing and I'm like, I'm out of here. Dude, I
I've been
like the
I've been
the
going to
gray.
the same barber for like so long. I don't even know like what my haircut is. I just sit down and he does his thing, and yeah, I think I've been going to him since like 2010 or something like that. Man, we getting old.
Dude, I've never had the experience of having a barber. I've always cut my own hair my whole life. Like I literally buzz it and that's it. Or I grew it out that one time and it was like 33 inches and shit. That's the only things I've ever done with my hair.
Why
Never
did you
had the
grow it out?
experience. Because my wife got pregnant with our son and I was like, I'm gonna grow it out fucking until I want to cut it for
For
some
what?
reason. No,
I mean,
there
more
was
power to
zero.
you. This seems
There
like
were there was zero reason to grow it out, but I was like, I just want to grow my hair out because I've never done it, right?
right. I get that, but then you threw in the part about her being pregnant. So like, I'm trying to figure out how
Okay,
her being
so
pregnant has anything to do with your hair.
I started doing it when she got pregnant. I was like, I'm just gonna grow my hair out until
Oh, okay, yeah.
until you have Paxton, and then I literally just kept growing it out, and it got like super fucking long because I was like, this shit is way more luscious than any woman's hair I've ever seen, and you can't waste this. You know what I mean? Like, but when I did cut it though, I ended up donating it to
That's
like a nonprofit
yeah.
like wig company or whatever. And I always think to myself, like, I wonder if a kid ever got my hair, like a cancer survivor, like patient that had fucking, no hair, whatever. Like, it would be so dope to know that, but they wouldn't let you know. So it's like at
I've
least
always,
you donated, right?
yeah. My wife says, "Who is Doug Lane anyway?" Don't worry about it. I don't know, some guy. I really don't even know how I got to be here, but I am. So, uh,
Okay, so you got to be here because I see a lot of the things you say to people and the way that you interact with people, the way you are as a person, the way you are as a father as well. Because
oh
like
man,
that's the main thing. Like I see you with your like the funny posts about your kids doing shit, dude. And I'm over here dying because I would post the same shit, but I'd be like, that shit, it's too funny sometimes to share with people, right? And so when you share like the funny ass shit I see, dude, I fucking die laughing because I'm like, I wish I could share those moments, right? Because they're so like, like the way that your daughter jokes with you, or like when y'all go back and forth that I've seen on posts about like, I don't even know, I can't give you an example, but I just remember that it's fucking hilarious, dude.
yeah,
And it's the best shit ever because it's like the whole be who you needed shit. Like you're being a
yeah.
great dad, and like she fucking will never forget that shit, dude. And it's the best
That's my
thing.
plans, man. So I mean, I'm sure as a parent, sometimes you feel like you go to bed like, dude, like what am I even doing? You know what I mean? Like how is
Every
it?
every
And
couple
I
days,
spend a
dude.
lot
Yeah.
of time like so my oldest daughter goes to a school it's about 40 minutes away. So I've got her half the week. And so, I got to take her to school. And so like there's a
Right.
lot of times, man, especially when I'm driving back by myself, I'm just like, my like She's 11 now. She's going on 12. She's
Dude, I got a 10-year-old, dude. I know what you mean, bro.
not the
Like,
girl drama yet. Like used to
okay,
be.
so
Like,
she literally she just started getting super moody, bro, and it's the most annoying thing in the world, dude. I'm like, just shh.
I gotta tell mine because
Right,
she's
dude.
like, it's the Stanley Cup craze. I guess there was a group of girls at school with the stupid ass Stanley Cups, and they were making fun of the
Oh,
girls.
dude, God.
Couldn't be in the Stanley Cup
If
club.
they had the dupes and like it wasn't cool because it's a knockoff, and it's like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Well, our school's like really like it's a small town. Like it's a really good school. I like it, and they sent out a letter, which is if they got to send out a message, email, all this
dude,
stuff,
it's a problem.
like that's a big problem. And so the letter read something like, "Hey, like there's a Stanley Cup group. The girls that don't have the cups are getting bullied. If this continues, we'll just ban all the fucking Stanleys." And I messaged her teacher and was like, if she is in any way, shape, or form involved in this, or you even hear a whisper about it, you let me know, because we'll shut that down right now. I'll throw all them damn Stanleys in the trash. I don't care. And she was like, no, she's not involved. I was like, she better not be.
You're holding one. You're like, okay, all right. You
put it back down. Don't make me do it.
Right, dude. But, like it's that kind of thing almost right now. Like it's like the whole like the way they act around each other. It's like, and then they think they can act that way here, and I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, what?
Yeah,
I got in your room. Like, get the hell out of here, dude.
I'm just trying to stay up to date with all the skibbity bop.
No, dude.
All that stuff. I'm just trying to figure out. And so, like, sometimes.
Bruh. Does your daughter say bruh all the time? Bruh.
Yeah, we were in that phase for a little bit. She doesn't realize that like we started that. So like
we really did. So it's like you're actually giving us credit for something, you know?
Bro. And I can't be mad at her about that because I call her son all the time. I'll be like, I'd be like, hey, can you get me that? If we're out here in the garage, I'm like, hey, can you hand me that torch, old son? So
you give her shit, dude.
Yeah. So the bruh stuff, I don't even care because we grew up calling each other bruh and bro and all that stuff.
Dude, I'll call my wife bro. I'll be like, bro. Like, I'll tap her and be like, bro, did you? And I'll be like, sorry, babe. I'll be like, babe, did you see this? Like, oh, shit, I got to correct myself.
Yeah.
Dude, so do your kid, you said you have how many? Two?
I got 2 girls.
11 and, girl dad.
Yeah. Hold up. Hold that thought. Hold up.
Here we go. Uh-oh. I bet he has a badass fucking like mug or a plaque or some shit.
No. I got this.
Yeah, it's even cooler.
This thing, and this sits up on my
Flip it around.
Top of my
Flip it around.
Oh.
Now I can read it. Hell
it says "Girl Dad officially outnumbered," and it's true because my dogs are both girls. Obviously my daughters. We have a turtle. We have a turtle, and he's a boy, but I mean, bro, he's just in a tank. You know what I mean?
He's not a fucking ninja turtle, dude. He can't really do much.
Dude, he got out of his tank yesterday. He was on the damn floor. Yes.
How the fuck did he escape, dude?
All right, look. So he's got a I don't know,
he's got like a tier system.
He's got like a long tank. So it's not particularly tall, it's just long. And so she put this little ramp on there so he can get out and the ramp's not very high, it's only like that high. So I'm down on the Peloton, right? I'm trying to, keep my figure and whatnot. So I'm on the Peloton and I see him like he's doing this, right? He's doing this. He's like peeking up over the top. I was like, damn, Terry, you scared me. So anyway, so then my wife, like, this is, back a little bit. So then my wife's like, man, Terry won't eat his little pellets. He'll only eat the mealworms out of his food.
Yeah.
Now, he won't eat the pellets. Dude. Listen. Okay. So then, I don't know, like a week later, she's like, calling for me or whatever. She's in the basement. And I'm like, oh, great. Like, what's gone wrong in the basement? That's where all the plumbing is. It's like, like, what is it going to be? And she's like, look down. I'm like, oh, fucking turtle's down out here. Like, he was only eating the mealworms so he could get the protein. He was doing his chin-ups, and he had to chin up one out the tank.
Dude, he fucking climbed that tank like a motherfucker, dude.
It was a good 2.5.
How big is this little thing? Is he like fucking...
He's probably about the size of my head, like maybe a little bit smaller.
Okay. Yeah,
So
I
I mean,
can see the reach. He has some reach to him then, huh?
he must, dude. I mean, he
Dude,
was
they're
fine.
fucking
Like, he didn't
bro.
get
When those
hurt.
turtles fucking put their neck out, dude, them motherfuckers, dude, could be like this big turtle, right? And the neck goes out like this far. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, you
Like,
don't
how the
really.
hell?
That's what I'm telling you, dude. Like he was all stretched out, and I was like, so I told her, I was like, he was trying to get his protein up, dude. He'd done hatched a plan to exceed. You thought he was just being picky. He was just trying to get his nutrition right. He was doing his
Like,
chest.
I had
He
the
was
idea. I did
out of
no.
there somehow.
He said I did no cardio, all push-ups all week.
You know, he was doing push pulls, calisthenics,
Right.
baby. But
Dude,
yeah,
great. You're definitely outnumbered, dude, except for the turtle. And I actually think he's more of an asset now with that story than before.
she took his
I
ramp.
mean, if he can do that, dude, imagine what else he can do.
I don't know. She took his ramp. So if he does it again, then I'm definitely on to something.
Right.
With the strength and stuff. But like we've had him for freaking years. Hey, what's up, Charlie? We've
Dude,
had him and he's never
we've
done
got a
anything
fucking
like that.
dude. We have a fucking bearded dragon, dude.
Oh hell yeah!
I fucking hate it. It's
Why?
the most. It's just a dinosaur sitting in a glass box, dude. Literally, like I'll look at it and it'll be like, I'm like, "What's up, dude?" And I'll like touch it, and it's like, I'm like, "All right, dude, well, fuck you, man. Like, I'm gonna leave you alone, dude."
So listen, we've got like our little local Facebook page, whatever, for our town.
Right.
Somebody had their fucking bearded dragon outside on their porch, sunbasking, and it ran away. And this dude is literally on there talking about like, you need to return my bearded. Like this dude had.
If it ran away, it's not on you. It's not on anybody else but you, dog.
Dude
Better
is
put a leash on that bitch.
come up on his porch and took the bearded dragon because he would never run off like that. And his cameras were disarmed probably because he was home and stuff, so he had them turned off.
Oh,
I'm like, he ran away, dude. Like, come on,
ran away. It was like, I'm fucking out of here. I hear bugs and I'm about to go eat them all, dude. Because, dude, there's been a fly that will get into her cage, like, or her enclosure every once in a while. Dude, she turns into a hunter, dude. Like, she'll jump, dude. And I've never seen this little thing jump. It's like maybe almost 2 feet long, like head to tail. And it's pretty, I mean, it's kind of thick, dude. It's like fucking 4 inches wide. But when it like flails out, it's like fucking 8 inches wide. It's crazy. But dude, when a fly gets in there, it'll like jump. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm leaving this fucking dinosaur alone, dude. Like, I'm not even gonna try to pet this thing, dude. No way.
I had a tree frog when I was little. That's my only reptile I've ever owned, other than the turtle that came. The turtle came with my wife, so it's not really mine. You know what I mean? Like I inherited it, kinda. Is that a step pet? Is that how that works? I don't know.
Kinda. I don't know what you would call that actually. Okay,
I don't think it really matters.
I want to go back to the group stuff. So, you said also that you put the YouTube on the back burner most of the time whenever you're busy and doing stuff. Is that more of like whenever you're slow and you're like, I have a bunch of footage? Because like you said, like it's a shit ton of stuff too. Well, fuck, we didn't even talk about this. This is in the green room. Sorry.
Yeah, this is in the green room. That's all right.
One thing that you said that you do is put but yeah, so like even with the podcast for me, and then like even TikTok lives or whatever, like I always put social media and all that stuff like aside. Is that kind of a thing that you focus on when you're busy with business, or is that a thing that you can, attribute to just because you're not interested in it right then? You know what I mean? Like,
that's kind of a long-winded question. Or at least my answer is.
Let me kind of narrow it down. Which do you like doing better, working or doing the YouTube stuff?
Okay.
Complicated question, huh?
It's a complicated question, and here's why, right? Because everybody, or
Can't
at
wait to
least
hear
I
this one.
was, right? I'm sure a bunch of other people that are going to watch this thought YouTube was going to be, Mr. Beast. You're gonna make some videos and you're gonna get $20,000 a month, and you're just gonna tint for fun, right? And then we all start fucking grinding and realize you don't even get paid till you get 1,000 subs, and then you gotta have a certain amount of watch time and all that. Like, people don't realize, like, it took me, we'll say 4 years of consistently putting out. And I do how-to stuff. I'm not interested in chopping stuff up and making it more appealing for the 30-second attention span that most people have, because one of the things I didn't like, we talked about watching Matt and Ralph and all of them, they make great stuff, not taking anything away from it at all. But when you start chopping stuff up, you might miss a step. You might miss
tiny, dude, a fucking 0.5 second thing, dude. And you're like,
but that could be enough to change the whole, like, I just missed this part or whatever. And then, so I was like, nope. I've kind of, like JC said on his episode, I always approach it like, what would I want to know if I was tinting this car for the first time, or if I was picking up a squeegee and a heat gun for the first time, what would I want to know? And so that's how I always try to do it. Of course, most people can't watch, like, the watch time speaks for itself on the analytics side of it, right? Like, you got 30 seconds and then you're going down for the most part. So in a perfect world, if I was, if I could support myself off of just YouTube money, that would be way more fun, right? Because it's not, you're going to tint one car. You can make 3 or 4 videos out of one car, plus chop it up for your shorts and reels and all that stuff.
Make it cutesy and fucking trendy and use the sounds that are nice now. And like, that shit is so annoying. I'm like, dude, no, I'm not doing it. Doing it.
At my old job, I was in shipping, I told you, and my job pretty much was the forklift operator. We ran in a freezer. It was me and one other guy, and we pretty much, when one was in, the other was out. So we'd have our headphones in, our noise canceling headphones in, we'd be jamming. I'm no mathematician, but I just started breaking down numbers, right? I got decent at doing numbers. Like, okay, well, if I, want to afford this much of a car, then I've got to make this much money, and then, support my family, whatever. Right. So I just break everything down that way. So I started looking at how much time does it actually take me to make a YouTube video? And it's about 3 hours. The time it takes to set it up and do all that. And I use GoPros, which was stupid because GoPros overheat. And then once they're overheated, I got to throw them in the refrigerator for a while, and the batteries don't last. Like, it'll say 2 hours of battery, whatever. No, you
30 minutes, dude.
Yeah, I was going to say 45 minutes to an hour.
Maybe 45, dude.
Are you running the blue batteries or the white?
I had the blue ones, and I don't even use mine anymore because of that reason. Because it was like, dude, I'd be like 30 minutes in, it's like overheating. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, dude.
Right when you started squeegee, and that shit died, didn't it?
I'm like, motherfucker, dude. Like, I couldn't even get the clip. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And so then
that's why I love just going live on fucking TikTok. I got my phone over here watching the TikTok. It doesn't have very many people watching, but like, I love using that because it actually is a good gauge of like how long I have to actually stream and then I can get the clips off of it, whatever. Eventually I want to get the damn the Meta glasses. Yeah, I really do. I really want to try them out because I love, like, because that's what I used the GoPro for, was like on my head, I'm doing shit, and then I'm like, I'm halfway through my stream or whatever, and I'm like, oh no, it's fucking already dead. And I just charged it, It's like, even if you like switch your battery real quick, you might lose that live footage or whatever, that kind of stuff. And then you have to go and download it. Do what?
You got to hot swap it. You got to plug it into a power cord, take your battery out, put your new battery in, unplug it.
Yeah, no, I've tried that too. I even had like a fucking rechargeable battery right there, or like a power bank or whatever, to like smack it in and do it real quick, and it would sometimes not even work. Like,
so I want to give
annoying as shit.
I want to give Matt a lot of credit because I think a lot of people take what he does for granted, as far as how much time, energy, and money he's got into. And like, I haven't watched any of his videos in a long time, but just the amount of like him messing around with camera, like you said, power bank. I remember him saying that like he had to find particular freaking power bank because something with the amps and the whatever and the however. Like, I'm sorry, I don't have that time or patience to do it because I know what he was making because he shared a screenshot of his AdSense or whatever, and for me to make that right, and let's just figure at the time he had 25,000 invested in his studio. Like I'm
Right.
not dumping 25,000 in the studio to make that money off of YouTube. Now there's of
No.
course other streams of revenue that come with being an
Right.
influencer, but
Tool sales.
yeah, just
Okay, so that's another thing, the influencer thing. Anyways, sorry, we'll get to that. Continue. My bad.
oh,
Like I said, side
I mean,
quest,
I
bro.
guess the original
I'm
question
bored.
was like I mean, I guess if I could do YouTube, like if I could make the same at what I make tinning with only doing 1 or 2 cars a month or a week or whatever, like hell yeah, I'd rather do that. But
Right.
yeah, I always put it to the side because I figured out, like I sat down and okay, setting up the shots, charging the batteries, doing all this, doing all that, importing the footage to the laptop. Well, now you got 450 gigabytes of footage. Now that has
Yeah,
to go
then
to
you
an
gotta
external hard
fucking
drive, and then you've got to organize it so you know where to find it. So I always organize it by year, make, model. So I've literally got two. I've got a 4 that's filled up and an 8 that's almost filled up, terabyte hard drive that's just all the stuff I've done YouTube wise over the years. So you figure it up and it takes about an extra 3 hours to make a video. And that's not even fancy editing. That's just slapping it in an iMovie, maybe chopping out when your kid comes out to ask you for a Capri Sun, you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff.
You have a popsicle? Hell yeah, dude, go get one.
Throw in your
Dude, my
intro,
son-
export it, and then you got to do the thumbnail. You got to upload it. You got to do the title. You got to do the
Make the
description.
graphic. You
You
gotta
got to do
fucking
the
do all
tags.
the thing.
Yeah, you
Yep.
got to click that it's not AI, you know, all that stuff. So, yeah, that's why it always takes a back burner because the juice really isn't worth the squeeze. I'll tell anybody I make about $125 a month off of YouTube.
Yeah,
And right
that's
now I'm just getting paid off of the videos that I've done in the last 5 years. So think about
right.
that. It took me 4 years to get monetized. So for 4 years I worked for absolutely free. And then the last year or two, it's $125 a month.
I feel you.
For okay, I was putting out, let's just say 1 3-hour video a week. That's 3, 6, 9. That's 12 hours a month that you're only making $100 on. And that's not even $100 off that one video, dude. That's $100 off of all the videos that you did.
Yep.
So yeah,
All the time, all the effort, all the fucking chargers, all the batteries, all that stuff, man. It's all overhead, man. Like, doesn't even cover it in a sense, you know. Like you could have spent that time doing 2 doors and a brow and fucking making $125, you know.
Shit, I do 150 for a set of front doors.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like same concept, whatever the price may be. Like I'm just saying for the sense of 125 a month, because I don't make shit off YouTube. I make a little bit off TikTok because of gifts and people that subscribe, which by the way, TikTok, sorry, I've been ignoring the fuck out of y'all, but fucking doing a show and it's first time on TikTok too. So just watch the damn show. But yeah. So it's like I get a little bit here and there, stuff like that. I don't get anything from Facebook for the podcast. This is literally just a hobby of mine. Like literally, it's become a fun hobby that I really enjoy doing because I get to showcase people and show people who people are in the industry in a sense, or even people that aren't in the industry. Like I've had a couple guests that haven't been tinters, you know, like I plan to have more people that aren't. In the future, like some people around, you know, my area that, you know, I've done work for that have pretty cool stories that I'd really like people to hear, like, you know, just random shit, right? But yeah, sometimes it's more for it's a hobby in a sense than a thing to make money. And I've never been one to like put out content to try to make myself get a bunch of followers and fucking, you know, get rich off of the shit or whatever. It's just for funsies, dude. Like it's literally just for fun and to have a good time. And it's always been like a sense of therapy too. Like just getting to talk for an hour to somebody that like I've never met you and I've learned more about you in this fucking 48 minutes than I've known about you. And we're just normal dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's just normal people most of the time. And people forget that. And like they think that all of this whole facade, they think it's a facade of wanting to do this or like you're rich and you make all this money. Like, nah, Like it's just we're just out here trying to scrape by too, you know, like fucking just normal shit.
Well,
You know
that's
what I mean?
like kind of one of the harsh realities. I like to listen to like podcasts and not so much now, but like especially when I was like I was really into doing my morning walks. I need to get back into it, but
Do it.
I'll listen to a podcast.
Fucking
It's just
fucking
hard, bro, when
walk.
it's 20 degrees out and it's cold, it's raining. We've got like flood watches and stuff going on. It's rained like
Yeah,
every other day and shit. Like
I feel you.
I'm hard, man. You know what I mean? Like I'll go do it if I have to, but it's hard to
You're
get up
like, I don't really wanna.
and go
Like
get
I'm the
soaking
same way.
wet and then have to change and then go take your kid to school and then come
Yep.
back and it's just like
Feel you.
but anyway, like I was listening to this podcast and it's I wanted to listen to yours, but you were only on like YouTube or Facebook or whatever. I couldn't find it on the app thing that I was looking for. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, I need to like figure out how to get it from Restream to put it on Spotify. I have no fucking idea, and I've never looked into it because I never really like again, like I've never looked into wanting to do more for whatever the fuck people think you want to do it for. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I've never been like, I need to do that because more people will hear it. Like if they want to hear it, they'll fucking find it, dude. Like it's easy.
But I was listening to this one, and it was like I listen to mostly like business type stuff, or I'll listen to like Jocko Willink and stuff like that. But this business podcast had this chick that was like the number one chick on OnlyFans, and she was talking about like how people are doing, like girls are flocking to OnlyFans the same way like a lot of people flock to YouTube and TikTok and stuff. Like they think they're gonna get rich. And she's like busted out the statistics that it's like 0.1%.
I'm broke as shit.
Like 0.1% is like who like makes a gazillion dollars a month or whatever. It's
like a bad drug dealer.
Yeah, like I don't know, man, but I was like, that's really got to suck to
listen. I absolutely love those kind of stories. I'm so sorry, but those are my favorite. It's like, oh, you wanted to take the easy route and got fucking just dog, dude. Like, sorry. Like, that's what you get, dude. That's what
I was sitting there, like, I'm walking around my neighborhood, right, listening to this podcast, and I'm like, dang, like, all these chicks are showing their buttholes, and they've got to deal with that. They've got to deal with that forever, and they only made like $100. Like, I'm upset that I only made $100, bro. But I was gonna get paid for that temp job regardless, right? Like, I didn't have to do anything like that. They had to do that.
That's my favorite. It's like you did all of these things and you're still like it didn't pay off. Like
but
you
this chick that was doing the video, they were like, well, what are you gonna do? Because it's not gonna last forever. And she's like, yeah. She's like, every month I buy a house. She freaking buys a house cash, dude. Because the banks don't want to mess with them and stuff. So they like
I saw this. All right. So since we're on this topic, the only reason that any of those people make money is because of men. Just remember that.
100%,
like
100%. They don't need a man, but they need a man to subscribe.
Dude, it's the funniest irony I've ever seen in my life. When I saw that, somebody said it one day. Like I know it to be true before it was like announced, right? And I saw it and I went, that's like, oh my God, dude. Like, give me this, get this out of here. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, that's so funny. It's like, don't need anybody, but it's how you make money. So oops. Like, oops. And then in the end, who's going to be lonely? You never know, right? I speculate on these kind of things all the time just because it's like I have to, and you do it, I assume as well, because you have daughters. Like you think about how they should be able to, succeed in the world and shit, right?
Oh yeah.
It's like, hey, don't ever fucking go down this path because this is the worst, like, dude, swear to God, like I'm always like, my daughter will never. And dude, don't even think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be aware of these things and like teach, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard because it's like you're not, it's like it's hard to have them listen as well. It's like, dude, But you have to show them that you love them more than anybody could ever do. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, dad's always gonna love you. Like, don't worry about what any dude's ever gonna tell you. Like, just know a true, like, unconditional, like, I will always be there for you type shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's a touchy subject, honestly.
You
But
gotta. I feel like I like to reflect back to when I was a kid, and when I was the type of kid, and I'm still the type of person to this day. If you tell me I can't do something, nothing is gonna make me want to do it more. Like, dude, I used to have long, like shaggy, like skater dude hair.
for
And then,
real,
dude, yeah, for real. And like I didn't even realize
like
it, but
this
like,
shit,
huh?
like the
No,
shit
like
that was like,
it was like long, and then it had, and I'm like, and I could do the little.
oh, the Bama
Yeah,
swoop, bro.
I'd be like
God.
skateboarding down the street.
Was it straight? Was it straight too? Or was it
I mean,
curly?
no, like I kind of trained it, right? I got to keep it out of my
Right,
eyes. So I
right.
had like a little, I had a little
But I
thing.
mean, like overall, was it
Yeah,
like
straight.
straight?
Yeah,
Yeah,
straight.
dude. The
Yeah,
Bama
and then like
swoop is what we called it.
at a certain length, it would kind of start to
Right.
curl, like a
Yep.
little, not like a, but just kind of
Yep.
little. Yeah, but
That's how
my
mine
dad
is.
hated it, dude. My dad hated it and hated the long hair. And like I didn't even realize that I was doing this. I was subconsciously like I like that style. And here's the thing. So I turn 18, right? I don't like you can't tell me what to do. I'm an adult, you know. Bro, 2 weeks into being 18, I got this haircut and I've never had longer hair like whatever however long it gets, you know, between cuts, like that's it. Like it
Right.
starts like getting to a certain point where like it starts to touch my ears. I'm like, dude, I need to make an appointment.
Dude, that shit grows straight out like this, doesn't it? Like mine. Dude, it literally will go, it'll start going like this, and then one day it'll just fall over. You know what I mean? I fucking hate it. It's the
Yeah.
worst hair ever. Super
So
straight.
so I think about that and I'm like, man, how do I convey, like you said, tell them, hey, don't go down this road, but I
Yeah.
can't be like, you will never, because if she's anything like me, she'll do it just like
Exactly,
me.
dude. And my daughter's the same way, dude. She's just like me too. So we're in the same fucking boat, dude. We got two little girls that are like literally like us, hard-headed, opinionated, I'm sure, right? Yes. Will never give up in an argument
Dude, you
ever.
can't. My daughter's 3, and you can't tell her nothing. Like you could be like, dude, we were at swim lessons before I jumped on here, and like you know the swim ladies like telling her, okay, you gotta do this, and she'll be like, no thanks. She'll polite about it, but she'll just you tell her to do something, dude, and she'll be like, no thank you. She'll be like,
I'm
no.
gonna express my free will. Sorry.
I
And
mean,
you're like, what the fuck?
like, what are you gonna
That's
do?
so
You know,
funny,
like,
dude.
so yeah, it's just I'm my biggest thing with my 11-year-old right now, because the girl drama and the this and that,
Dude, it's the
I just keep telling her,
worst,
I'm like,
bro.
look, I know this seems like a really big deal to you right now, and this is really important. I'm not saying your feelings aren't valid or whatever, but I said I just want you to know that after you graduate high school, you will talk to about 3 of your friends, and they probably won't even be the 3 that you
Maybe
have right
two.
now.
You're right.
And I said, once you graduate and say 5 years after graduation, this will be such a small, petty, insignificant part of your life. Like, just don't even let it get to you.
Yeah,
That's the
dude.
point I'm trying to express right now.
Of course.
I don't know if it's working or not. I guess we'll see in the future, but it's tough out here for a girl dad, man. I'm telling you right now.
Dude.
I'm telling you.
Our 10-year-old, when she comes home with some drama, dude, I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I'll literally tell her, I'll be like, I do not care. I'm like, because you shouldn't either. Like, whatever it is, I'm like, whatever it is, it's probably stupid as shit. You know, like, I'll tell her straight up, dude, and I don't sugarcoat anything. I'm like, it's probably dumb as fuck, and like, it's probably insignificant to the life that you're living. And like, if it's gonna bother you that bad, it's on you and not them. Like, you're letting it get to you. Like,
Yeah.
whatever they're doing, just let them do it and go like this. That doesn't bother me. And then watch them like get mad, dude. Like, just let them get angry. Like, it's not gonna bother me. You know, like I'll tell them, like, just it's not my fault, you know, like whatever, dude. Like, just leave alone. Like,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck y'all are arguing over, it's probably the dumbest, pettiest shit. And it's like, whatever. You'll be
So
fine.
this one day, I try to, like, I'm gonna listen to it because I want to know what's going on. You know what I mean? So I'm
Oh,
not.
I'll listen, but I'll be judgmental as shit, dude.
So one day she's got this crush on this little boy, right? And she's like,
Mm-mm.
she's beefing
Mm-mm.
because this girl told her, I don't know, something. It was gonna give up her secret, right? And I said, wait,
Right.
isn't that the whole point? Like that he knows? And she's like, no, you can't know, Dad, because he has a girlfriend. And I'm like, I mean,
I ain't know shit.
well, then I'm just thinking, like, okay, if he knows, they're like 10 and
Okay.
12, dude. You know what I mean? Like, so if he knows, like, maybe he'll break up with his other girl, and then maybe he'll like you. Like, but
We
if
can
he does, like,
shift the tides of time right now.
he doesn't know, right? He may just be just on cruise control. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life, but I'm going to stick with her because I ain't got nothing better to do, you know. And then,
All right, listen, dude. You have one that's a year older than mine, and now I'm starting to be concerned about the boy drama
I'll
because
just wait.
she's not I'm not waiting. I'm doing it now. I'm thinking about it, and now I'm preparing for the future.
Oh yeah, prepare for it for
Now,
sure. Yeah,
dog,
prepare.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Hold on. Where's my shit? Hold on. This is another one he made. I'm just kidding. Anyway, but no, like I'll be like, Jessica, handle that shit. I can't do it because I don't have the self-control to be kind about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, listen, you're not fucking talking to that boy anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be that dad, dude.
See, but
I'm
here's the
sorry
thing. So then, like, I think, like,
to
okay,
go
if I
against
tell her
what
that
you
she can't,
say.
then she's gonna
Exactly.
want to do it even more. So
Exactly.
if I just go with the flow and be like, oh, what's going on, and just keep an ear on things, right? Then I kind of know what's going on, and
Okay.
then
All right, you're onto
when
something
it
here.
really matters, you spring the trap.
You're so onto this. You're onto something. Befriend the boy. Just be like, hey man, you like football? You know, or like whatever. Hey, you wanna learn to tint windows? You know, like just be like, hey man, you seem like a cool little kid. You know, you like, what are you interested in? You trying to play some basketball, dude? And you're like, and then one day be like, don't talk to my daughter again, dude. And he's like, oh
See,
shit.
one, that violates child labor laws. Two, if I pull up in my ProMaster van to the school,
It's free training, dude.
and start talking to the kids about, hey man, you like some window tint? You want to play some basketball?
Fast lane.
I'm getting arrested, bro. They might
Fast
not even
lane.
arrest me. They may just kill me. It's a small school.
Fast lane with the splash on the side, bro. Hold on. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So the picture I
Bad move
gave you
there.
for the picture I gave you for the thumbnail is actually how it was lettered before. Now it's just highlighter yellow, and it says we fix $99 tent jobs. And so my daughter, when I rolled up to the school the first time, because I did it like while she was at school,
Right.
and rolled up to pick her up in it, and she was so embarrassed because you can't miss it. And she was like, I can't believe you brought this thing. I was like, what's wrong with it? She's like, it stands out so much. I was like,
is she like an introvert? Like, is she like a don't give me attention type person, or
in a weird way, yes, but then at the same time, like if
she wants attention?
She'll just take your phone and be like, and like take pictures of like goofy faces, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like, if you go through my wife's camera roll, because she'll just pick up my wife's phone and like start snapping selfies. 9 out of 10 of them are going to be some crazy face. Like I posted a picture of my Forerunner windshield. It's mirror tint, but if you look in the corner, she's like by the windshield, like, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? So like, her main thing is she doesn't want this little boy to see. You know what I mean? So like, if I see him walking out, because it works out great because he's a little bit.
Hey, Jonathan, or whatever.
She was like, he's got a code name. I'm not gonna say the code name, but she'll be like, he was behind me, in the next line of students or whatever. Right. Kids out like 8 at a time. Like 8 cars pull up, 8 kids get in the next wave. So he comes out, and so like we're driving around the other side, and I'm like, waving inside the van, dude, through tinted windows. This kid couldn't see me even if he was looking for me. You know what I mean, bro? And she's melting in the seat, like, oh my
Embarrassed, dude. Yeah, just super embarrassed. It's like,
God.
what are you embarrassed for?
Damn near unclicked her seatbelt to jump in the box, dude. Like I'm telling you, she was trying to get into that seat, like she was trying to be invisible. I'm like,
That's so funny, dude.
wanted to, dude. Like we're 45 feet away. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like, on, but so yeah, it's a weird thing. Like they want attention, but they don't want attention.
bro. Like, dude,
People that they like or
I
something.
could talk about, dude, I could talk about being a dad for fucking hours, man. Like, I don't understand like how some of these dudes out here would not want to be one. Like, I don't get it, man. It's like it's one of the most rewarding yet struggling, stressful things in the world. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah,
it's so satisfying seeing your children grow and
yeah.
learn and do better. And then you're like, you get proud of them and they start doing more shit. And then, like, and then that kind of stuff happens. Like you get stressed out about funny stuff that's like embarrassing. And you're like, I'm not trying to be embarrassing. I'm just, trying to be nice,
Yeah, I don't get it, man. I mean, my kids have been my biggest driving force
Of
to
course.
actually take this journey, dude. I had my
100%, dude.
standards it was a decent job. I got paid vacation. I was working with my friends' parents, so like I was making enough to support a family,
Right.
hypothetically and whatnot. But the thing was, like I had Mondays and Tuesdays off, and so back to the analytical side of me. Okay, well the guy that had the better schedule or the best schedule, I would say, he had Friday, Saturday off. Well, he had X amount of years until retirement, so I was going to have to work a shitty shift until he retired. You know what I mean? So it's like
Right.
you're just doing the math in your head. Like, okay, well, before she was in school, it wasn't
Like
such
you
a
said,
deal.
is the juice worth the squeeze? You've said that a couple of times, I think. Like
Yeah.
anything that you've done, like, is it worth it? Like,
Yeah, I weigh it all out, and so I was looking at it like this. So when she wasn't in school, it didn't really matter. It didn't matter if I had weekends off because we could just go do stuff on Mondays and Tuesdays. Those were
right.
my days off. But then I'm
Fun.
like, okay, well, she's going to be going to school, which means she's going to be in school, Monday through Friday, and then you're only going to have Saturdays and Sundays, and then I've got to work Saturdays and Sundays. So that means I only have from 3 o'clock to 8, 9 o'clock because I've got to get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock to go to work. So you know what I mean? So then it's like, yeah, I just weigh that all out. And so it kind of was a thing where my boss actually he hit his retirement, and then they were replacing one guy with 4. That's typical corporate stuff there.
Which makes no sense.
Yeah, me and my doc partner both got passed up for the supervisor spot because we didn't want to work weekends. And so they hired 3 goons off the street, and they took a truck driver and put him in charge. And yeah, it was a cluster, dude. They were coming to us like, "What do we do? We're just like, you got figured out, bro." Like,
yeah, hey, good luck, dude.
We're not privy to that information. We can tell you what our old boss might have done, but
that's above my pay grade, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So that really motivated me. Like my detail thing was really just like a nights and weekends kind of side hustle thing to occupy my time when I didn't have my daughter, shared parenting deal. And then once they passed me up for that, I was like, all right, you're stuck. Like you're stuck here. You're getting this much of a cost of living raise, but inflation and everything else is it's outrunning that cost of living. So you're going to be making less and less every year. And I was like, nah. I started watching. This is before I started tinting, so this would have been in 2016. I started watching tons of business oriented stuff, reading books, podcasts, just everything I could to figure out how I could get to where I wanted to be as fast as I possibly.
Like, give me the fuck out of here, type shit.
Yeah,
like I got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, which I don't know if maybe you experienced this, but I know there was a post, either if it wasn't today, it was yesterday, about like what it was a new person starting out. What would you want to know if you were starting over? And I commented and said that a complete stranger will support you before your family and friends will.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't let it bother you. And I don't know if you
100%.
experience that, but I had people
Yes,
that I
I
work
have.
with tell me like, you're not going anywhere. You'll retire
Yes.
in this place. You're not going to quit. You're never going to make it. I had family members sit at a table, dinner table, and say, nobody's going to pay you to wash their car,
Right.
all that stuff. And I would have believed them, dude, but I'd already been watching all these YouTube videos of people that were not only doing the
fuck
details,
that,
but they're
dude.
also sharing the business side of it. So I was like, okay, well, if this motherfucker's doing it, why can't I? And so, but if I wouldn't have taken the time to do the research, I might have fallen into that trap and still been there. But I was like, nah, dude, I want to be able to set my own schedule and work when I want to work and do all that stuff. So that's really the comparison is the thief of joy that you were talking about earlier. Like I kind of fall into that sometimes because I'll look at somebody.
Too, still. Like I don't take my own fucking advice, dude, ever. So it's like whatever I say, dude, don't fucking think I'd do that and live by it every goddamn minute.
I'm just saying it, man. It sounds good, but I ain't doing it.
It sounds good, and you probably fucking listen to it and tell me you thank me for it. You know what I'm saying? Like all the time, like I'll give advice to somebody that I wouldn't take the advice because I don't need the advice. And then they take the advice and they use it. And I go, fuck yeah, man. And they're like, why didn't you use that advice? And I'm like, wasn't for me, dude. It wasn't for me, man. It was for you.
I'll look at people's numbers, especially like Core does the year-end numbers, and you look at like all this and you just start like you've been in this industry long enough, man. If you're doing X amount of cars, like kind of what that equates to dollar-wise. And it's like, damn, man. But then I'm like, well, yeah, but like Monday, Tuesday, I really only work like 5-6 hours. You know what I mean? Like I'm not working 12, 14, 16, 18-hour days like some guy. Damn old Sean, dude, he was in the shop 11 hours, 12 hours, something like that, 11 cars, $6,000. Like, hell yeah, dude. But that, an hour
good on you, brother.
Not for me.
Yeah, good on you, dude. Like, do what you want to do, man. And like, who cares? Like, if it's working, like literally right now, I'm pretty fucking broke and I'm okay. I'm just like, all right, something's gonna happen. I'm making things happen, waiting on things or whatever. It's like the whole, like, if you know how things usually go, like if you have like a good sense of predictive behavior and things and how patterns work, like, that it's about to be summertime.
Oh yeah.
So I started in November and it was dead as fuck. And
it was a terrible time to start, bro.
And I was broke as shit. And now I'm like, I'm still making way more than I was making, every week, but I'm also spending all of it because I have things I have to take care of. And that's fine because at least things are being taken care of and I'm not fucking stressing about, numerous things that I have to take care of. I know that they're going to be taken care of.
Yep.
And if they don't, I'll fucking make it happen because it ain't never not happened. You know what I mean? Like, there's never been a time where I'm like drowning and I'm like, I need the most help. There's been times where I've asked for help, but it's like little stuff here and there.
Yeah.
But there's never been a time where and most business owners can probably say the same shit. Like, they've been like, I feel like I'm overwhelmed, but then shit works out because of the way that things have always worked out. And you forget those things in those moments because you're focused on like the bullshit, right? And you're like, fuck, what am I supposed to do? And it's like what I've always done, and just do it. And then do it a little better. You know what I'm saying? Like, try something new, But dude, I hate to do this because this has been like a really great fucking conversation with everything we've talked about. But it is a little late. I know that you said it's already past your bedtime anyway.
9 o'clock.
You said you said it was past your bedtime.
Yeah, I mean, I start getting the kids ready at 9 o'clock, man. I'm not going to sleep at 9. You think I'm old? This is great.
I'm the same. Dude, I have a couple, bro. Look, hold on.
A couple. That's cute.
Dude, I just started my business in November. All right. Listen.
next year you'll be full gray.
Give me 6 months, dude. I'm gonna have more gray than you do. I promise you.
I doubt it.
I don't. For
if I let this grow out, dude, it is like, it looks not gray, but when I let it grow out, it really shows.
All mine's gray, dog. I'm just kidding.
When I was at the Tentapalooza, real quick, I had to go to Walmart. I had to get some allergy medicine, right?
The one goddamn thing I forgot to fucking talking
So I go
about?
to the Walmart, and there's this. If you've been to North Carolina, which I'm north, so it's
I
a
have
southern
not.
accent. This lady, she had to card me for my allergy medicine, right? And and I was like, she was like, oh, I need to see your ID or whatever, and I was like, oh, like the gray hair doesn't give it away, and she was like, what gray hair, honey? And I was like this, like you don't see it. She's like, no, I don't see. What is that, brown? And just sweetest
Just
old lady
Southern
dude ever. She's like,
hospitality, dude.
give her my ID. Like she made me present my
Yep.
ID. She's like, oh, Ohio. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh, okay. She's like, oh, there you go, child. And I'm like,
Yeah, dude. Dude, come to Arkansas. You'll see some
you don't gotta
Southern
butter me up, but all right, I'll take it.
dude. Dude, Southern women are different, bro. They're built different. They say baby and sweetie and all that and honey and all this shit. I'm like, will you quit? Leave me
You
alone.
quit,
You know,
says.
stop. I'm not your honey. Leave me alone. You know.
What do you want to know about the Palooza? You said the Palooza one thing. Let's make it quick.
Man,
What do you
dude,
think?
I forgot to fucking.
9:30?
I totally forgot to fucking ask about the Palooza, man. Because I never go because it's so far for me, and
It was really
it's always kind of like around different events, and I'm not
that was the
complaining.
tough part.
I'm not complaining, but I have to like when you have to pick, and then people like help you do other things. Like you have to do those things first. But I really want to fucking go to one so bad because it always seems like, dude, it seems like it's always the most like inviting, like
It is.
backyard barbecue,
Yep.
like you're just hanging out, fucking kicking the tent in windows, dude.
Yep.
And it seems like my kind of thing to do. And I'm
Yep.
really mad that I haven't made any of them, and I should have already made it happen. But give me a little bit of what that was like and what your favorite takeaway from that kind of event is.
All right, so I've never been to any events, so we already covered I'm self-taught. I never had anybody tell me like, oh, this is acceptable, this isn't acceptable. Like everything is all that I've come up, from watching, which there's only so much you can pick up on a video, right? Like how much contamination is okay. Like I'm
Right.
shooting zero. It took me a long time for people to be like, dude, there's like 5 specks in there. Like, it's fine. Like,
You're fine.
Not a big deal.
Then you're like, what?
In my head, I'm like, God, So anyway, Wagon and I, good friends, hit it off, blah, blah, blah. He says, hey, I'm going to put this event together. And I said, you just let me know when and I'll be there. So, time passes. Honestly, forgot about it. And he was like, hey, we're doing it here. We're doing this day, whatever, dude. I was scared shitless. I was like, man, I don't know, like being around a bunch of tenors.
Right.
In the first one, you don't know if 10 people is going to show up or 10,000. You know what I mean?
Wasn't it 30 something? The first one?
Yeah. The first one was like 33, I think. And then some people brought their families, significant other stuff. So, I mean, there's probably
50.
Well, and then some people come Friday, but not Saturday. Some come Saturday,
right.
Some come both, whatever. So get down there. Carlos and his wife, super inviting. They're like, you're home, dude. Like you just whatever you want, dude. And he just, gives the tour and all that stuff. Here's, the refrigerator, here's this and that. And, they got the fridge stock. So then Bigfoot Barbecue comes in. This is like Thursday night. They're planning out. Dude, he's got this trailer smoker. They're smoking whole pigs, pulled pork, like anything and everything, hush puppies, all day, dude, all day. And Carlos is the type, like if you're sitting there slinging film all morning, he'll be like,
I would sit by the smoker all day with whoever's smoking it. I'd be like, hey man, let me pull up a chair, bro.
Whatever you want to drink, there's a 21 and up tent. I'm not, that's not my thing, but if you're into that thing, there's that. The food is killer. Everybody was super cool. I learned a lot, got to meet a lot of cool people, got to network with a lot of people that really helped me grow a lot in the last year, since. So coming to this last one, much more comfortable because
it's like you're just going back to kick it with the homies.
Yeah,
dude.
and that's exactly what it is, dude.
And have a good time, bro.
There's no there's a bunch of cars on the books, and Carlos will run like some pretty big deals to like get cars in, but it's not like when you're in the shop yourself and you got 10 cars sitting outside, it's like, we got to go. Like there was a time
there's like fucking 20 people that could do the shit,
3 cars sat in the bay for probably 2 hours, like first thing in the morning, because we're just, everybody's just kind of getting their stuff set up, getting their stuff ready. kicking it. We're
Stretching
waiting
out and shit. You're like,
yeah, exactly. And then and then it's like his wife starts feeding everybody patterns, and it's like because like you said, there's 20 dudes, you know what I mean? There's
dude, there's
five
fucking
windows on a car. I mean, it just bam, it just goes super quick.
You're like, oh, what? You need passenger side? All right, cool. And you just go over there and you're like, they're like, all right, done.
Like, you'll get a lot of times on one car, there'll be somebody on each window, and you can literally just bust out a whole car in 2-3 minutes, you know?
Yeah, dude. Ridiculously, dude.
And then you're just like, you know, you're sitting in the chair, you're eating your good food and everything, and then it just all works out. And it, like you said, it's exactly like kicking it with the homies.
It's great, dude.
It is.
That's why I've always, and I fucking regret not going, or I say not being able to go, but not going because I chose to do other things instead.
And that's what I was saying. Like, it's tough because they had to pick. Like,
I always feel regret.
Oh, this event's going to be this weekend, so we had to
I always regret decisions by not going to do things though.
Yeah.
Like, because then I see like all the posts that you made about the people you met and stuff at the event and what they meant to you, stuff like that. That's things that I've done in the past as well, like going to tender battles or WFCT or, you know, the Audubon conference, like people that you meet and like they literally touch your soul and you're like, these characteristics about this person really helped me enjoy them. You know what I mean? Like I really enjoyed this person because of these characteristics. And then like that kind of highlighting people in the industry instead of like people always bitching about events or like complaining about what the fuck is wrong. It's like, why don't you talk about the things that you actually had a good time doing, dude? Like you had a good time doing this and this and this. Talk about that instead of always focusing on the bullshit. Like the bullshit is always going to be bullshit. It's every event, every time anything happens. Like it's always some complaining. Like just leave it alone. People know that people don't like shit, right? Talk about the shit you liked, right?
Exactly.
Let me.
The internet. Are you gonna wait?
Earmuffs.
Dad, what are you talking about me?
I was talking about you.
We did talk about you.
We talked about you, believe it or not. But yeah, that was the tough thing about trying to work around other events and all that, and
right.
So I think that's why the turnover was kind of lower than in the past or the past one. I know some people were sick and whatever, and but yeah, dude, I've never been to like a legit contest or anything.
Right.
But
I mean,
that's one that I will not miss because the competition is cool. You know, I would like to compete sometime just to see, you know, what it's like, how experience it, and you know, see what I can do. But at the same time, like, I don't need to prove that I'm the best on that day.
And it's not even about that either.
It's to me, I would just much rather just hang out with my friends and tint some windows.
Right. Dude, and there's nothing wrong with that either, man. Like for me, competitions is like it's not like a proving yourself where you have to show people how good you are. It's like, what if I beat this person that I thought was better than me? You know what I mean? Like you don't have to prove anything, but it's like, what if you do though? Like, what if you just lay your best windows and you're like, shit, I beat this dude that's always on fucking, you know what I mean? Like, but it's any given Sunday, just like any football game, basketball game, golf match, tennis match, dude, race, whatever. It's that day. Whatever happens that day. Like there's not like a Tenor Cup series, which would be
right. And that's what I always thought too. Like there's so many variables. You know what I mean? Like
so many, dude.
Are you in a cleaner? Is the
environment being able to make it, dude? There's been so many environments that were shitty, but
really,
aside from all that, like. I do have to get off here, man. And we've been chatting for a good grip. And I'm sorry, dude, because I've really enjoyed it, dude. I really have. This has been one of my most for sure.
I'll type out a list, and that way we can stay on track. We'll hit everything you want to hit.
Man, there's no saving it for me. Even if there's a list, like I'm gonna forget it because I'll forget the list. You know what
That's what
I mean?
my wife, like, I leave stuff behind on mobile jobs like all the time, and my wife's like,
The
"I'm gonna
worst.
put a checklist in your van." I'm like, I wouldn't fucking check it anyway.
I
So what's
wouldn't
it
even
matter?
know where the list is. Yeah, like where's the list? Like where'd you hang it up? It was on your steering wheel. Well, did it
Right?
blow in the wind? Like
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like
I wouldn't even check it. I'd be like, "Wow, checklist. Yep. See ya."
right. Okay, so before we do get off here though, I
Okay.
do the I call it my dark truth final thought. It's like
Ooh,
Jerry Springer's monologue at the end, you know?
okay.
Like a little whatever you want to say when it comes to like advice, something you took away from the show, or something you just honestly just want to say, whatever. Up to you, dude.
All right. I'm gonna make it two things. Okay. First,
Two things.
okay, so everybody that is in the Facebook groups and all that stuff, I figure probably the guys watching this and ladies, I'm sure there's 3 of them. Probably not so much, but in just the overall tent community, don't judge a book by its cover, right? We're all guilty of being like, well, that guy, because of what they post or what. Yes, there are some assholes out there, but there's an overwhelmingly huge amount of just good people, and it doesn't matter if that's your customers, that's other tenters, whatever. Like most people are good people. And then I don't even remember what the second thing was, but let's see. So, basically don't judge a book by its cover. Okay. All right. Yeah. And, if people don't support you in your life, like, just don't even worry about it. Just stick with people that support you. If whatever you want to do, like if you have your heart, your goals, your sights set on whatever that thing is, don't stop until you get it. And if you don't make it, like you try something that fails, try another plan. Don't get sucked into people saying, "Oh, I told you so," or "You weren't going to do it," or fuck.
Yeah.
If they don't do the 3 F's, feed, fornicate, or finance, then fuck what they said about you.
If you ain't feed, fucking, or paying my bills, get the fuck out.
Yep.
Dude, yes, dude. Yes. Bro, it's been great chatting with you, dude. I need to send you my phone number so we can chat on the phone here and there.
Got your
Because
phone number.
do you really?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I don't have a watch. But yeah, dude, I love it. That's the 3 F's. All right. I like it. Like it a lot. Yep.
I know maybe it's on my other phone. It might be on my other phone, but I know
You
I
got 2 phones, Kevin Gates? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I was gonna switch to a different provider because they were running a killer deal for businesses, but their service was trash. So I ended up not switching it. So it's just kind of hanging out in the drawer over there. I ain't even turned on. I mean, it's activated because it's $20 a month. It's good to have for a backup, but
not the burner phone, bro. Anyway, but shit, dude.
The S24 Ultra burner phone, dang.
God dang, rich people, bro. Rich people, man. Well, dude, it was great chatting with you, man. We'll definitely have to set up another one. I kind of want to do a collab with like a couple people. So like let's chat about it and figure it out. Cause I got a couple people like, Wagon Guy jumped in on here, dude. And then
if you're gonna invite Wagon, even if it's not with me, you better schedule something a little more than an hour because it'll be an hour.
Look, I've already had him on once, and it was really hard to wrangle him in for an hour. But this is also before he was like kind of okay with being on camera. You know what I mean? Like this was when he was like still kind of like iffy about the stuff.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, he's if you get him in person, he's the star of the party. I'll tell you, he's a hell of a
hung out with him in Denver, dude. It was a great time, man. I have a fantastic picture. I have a fantastic picture of him in Denver, dude. It's one of my favorites of all time.
All right,
but dude, I appreciate you being on the show, bro.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
It was a great time. The conversation was great, dude. Go be a girl dad and get them girls in bed, bro. Because she's ready, bro.
She's cranked up.
Happy birthday.
She says this happy birthday.
Happy
So,
birthday. Yep.
I guess. All right, man. See ya.
Happy birthday.
I'll holler at you. Oh. All right, y'all. That was Doug Lane. That was a great conversation. We had a good time. You got a little sidetracked the whole time, but you know, that's how I do things. But yeah, appreciate y'all watching. It's gonna be a good rest of the night, and I hope y'all have a great one. And before we go, I'm going to hit this outro video. See ya.